Hello, YouTube land. Mr. Spank here, and it's that time again. Pre-release time. This time, Commander Legends. And the first thing I want to talk about is that I had all these questions that no one was answering, like, how are you supposed to draft in this game? Because the regular draft, you start up with a deck that's 20 cards smaller out of 3 boosters. No one was answering this. No one in the groups, no one on Twitter, but it says it on the box. What is Commander Draft? Bring 3 boosters, pick 2 cards at a time, then build a 60-card Commander deck. Okay, so we're going to build a 60-card Commander deck, and we're picking 2 cards at a time. Out of that 60 cards, is this like 59 plus a commander, 58 plus a commander, 60 plus a commander, or commander and partner commander? How's that supposed to go? That part's not answered. But then again, I went to my LGS because this was pre-release weekend, so I got this, and technically each pre-release thing was supposed to be, I think they said 6 boosters, and then you register 4 times and you get a whole box worth. Because how much does this come with? 24 boosters? Where does that say? Somewhere in here. Somewhere on this. How many boosters in this thing? Why does it not say how many are in this box? Contains 24 boosters, and each one's got about 20 cards in it. So I believe they said, 6 times 4 is 24. My elementary math still works. So because of that, each pre-release entry got you a single foil Sengir the Dark Baron. If you don't know, he's got 4/4 flying. Whenever another creature dies, put 2 +1/+1 counters on him. And whenever another player loses the game, you gain life equal to that player's life total as the turn began. And this guy's got partner. So that seems kind of handy dandy. Someone else can knock out another player and you can still benefit. Cool, cool, cool. And because it's a box, apparently this is the box topper, the Mana Confluence land. So tap, pay 1 life, add 1 mana of any color. Mythic. Is this a foil? Yes, I think this is a foil. Yes, all the special ones are foils. So that was a benefit from going to the LGS. And then, of course, while I'm there, why not? Why not? Why not? Well, spend 30 bucks there on sealed Magic products, and they will throw in a Zendikar Rising promo pack. But cracking this stuff open, I will save for a little later. And let's focus on this draft box, which sounds like something sliding around in there. I don't really like that sound, but let's get cracking. See, it's got the official Magic the Gathering seal on it. So I think what I'm gonna do is, in the theme of this pre-release weekend, I'm going to open 6 boosters at a time per video. That makes sense, right? Makes sense to me. Alright, what else we got here? Got some instructions. Building the deck, command the battle, the draft, prismatic piper. Draft archetypes. I guess we can get into that in a minute. Apologizing ahead of time. It's hard to do any filming in my place. Always something going on. So if you're hearing background noise, my apologies. Alright, so I think I should give this a read through to get some actual answers, since no one was giving me answers online. So this part pretty much explains you got 3 20-card boosters, regular draft rules, except you draft 2 cards at a time. And when the draft is done, you should have a total of 60 cards, plus basic lands. Then you're building a 60-card deck using modified commander rules. Each deck will have a commander. Okay, so we know that's going to be a legendary creature. And your deck can have 2 commanders, if they both have partner. You may use up to 2 of the prismatic pipers as your commanders, even if you didn't draft any. Oh, look at that. So I guess you can pull a prismatic piper outside your 3 boosters. Interesting. Singleton rule normally used in commander games does not apply. You can draft and play as many copies of the same card as you want. Look at that. All right, that's interesting. Glad I read this rule. So no singleton rule in commander draft. Your deck must have at least 60 cards, including the commanders. Okay, so it's not 60 plus 1 or 60 plus 2. It's exactly 60, including the commanders. Alright, have about 25 lands, they suggest. Prismatic Piper. Enigmatic shapeshifter known as the Prismatic Piper. Make sure you have a commander to represent your strongest colors. Here's how it works. You may play up to 2 copies of the Piper. If you didn't draft him, don't worry. You can bring in up to 2 Pipers from outside the draft. They should just then include a bunch of them in the box. Or supply the store with them. But as you can see, still pre-release at home here in New York. Okay. Commander battle. Apart from the special rules mentioned in Build Your Deck and Prismatic Piper, Commander Legends uses all the same rules as traditional game of Commander. So I guess I don't need to go over that. So there we go. Finally, answers to my questions. Your deck is going to be capped at 60, and you're still using 3 boosters to draft out of, because those boosters are 20 cards each. You can have up to 2 commanders, and no singleton rule while doing Legends draft. So I guess pre-release is the same as Legends draft. I'm going to assume that the pre-release would be done the same way, except that you have a chance to choose out of 6 boosters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll be 1 draft. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be 2 draft. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pre-release draft number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this will be pre-release draft number 4. So, since I've been missing from the scene for 20 years and I have yet to do one of these in person, I still don't have any experience building limited pre-release decks. So I would really truly love to see your input. How you would build them. I'm also guessing, because each one of these Barons was supposed to come with one of these drafts, that he is a free agent to be put into any one of these builds. Or all of these builds, because I have 4 of him. But then, hey, no singleton rule in this version. So, I can actually put all of him into any of the decks. Alright, so there we go. in the scene. We got our barons here. So this will be our... So I also, the way I divide these up, I don't really care about rare, uncommon, common, mythic, whatever. I divide them up by color so that eventually when I build something, it's easier for me to pull stuff apart. I also don't follow what anything is valued at, so I don't really know the value of stuff I'm pulling. If I pull something of particular value, please let me know in the comments. I will appreciate that. So much laughing in the other room. My apologies. Hopefully that's not being caught on the footage. Oh, these are kind of tough to open. There we go. Okay. Make new friends that stick forever. Make friends with zombies. Right? Alright, so I guess we start with commons. Got a Valakut Invoker. 3 mana for 2/3, and for 8 generic and deal 3 damage to any target. Elvish Visionary. Enters the battlefield, draw a card. A 2 mana 1/1. Elvish Shaman. Briarblade Adept. That sounds kind of familiar. Whenever this guy attacks, target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn. He's a 3/4 for 5 mana and has Encore for 4 mana. What does Encore even do? Exile this card from your graveyard. For each opponent, create a token copy that attacks that opponent this turn if able. They gain haste. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. Activate only as a sorcery. I think I understand. Captain's Call, 4 mana, create 3 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. Strategic Planning. This is Jason Gideon having a little pre-action talk before attacking Bolus. 2 mana lets us look at the top 3 cards of the library, put one of them into your hand, the rest in your graveyard. Rummaging Goblin, discard a card, draw a card. Otherwise, I'll 1/1 Goblin Rogue for 3 mana. Corpse Churn, that totally sounds familiar. Mill 3 cards, then you may return a creature card from the graveyard to your hand. Alright. Trove Tracker. When this guy dies, draw a card, and he's got Encore for 7 mana. Exile this card from your graveyard. For each opponent, create a token copy that attacks that opponent this turn. If able, they gain haste, sacrifice them at the beginning of next... so I guess all Encores do the exact same thing. Make 3 copies that are attacking out of the graveyard for... Well, make a copy for each opponent that's alive, attacking out of the graveyard. Otherwise, a 2/2 for 3 mana. Pilgrim's Eye, that's an oldie but a goodie, I suppose. Iona's Judgment, 5 mana to exile a creature or an enchantment. Lee's Alana Bowmaster, Elf Archer, 3 mana for a 2/2 with Reach. Whenever you cast an elf spell, you may have this guy deal 2 damage to target creature with flying. I could see the elf synergy there. Oh, I'd definitely pull this guy somewhere else. A 6/5 with Menace for 6 mana. In Ikoria? I think I pulled this guy out of Ikoria. Thorn of the Black Rose. Whenever Thorn of the Black Rose enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. So 4 mana to get a 1/3 and the crown. Thirst for Knowledge. Draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards, unless you discard an artifact card. This sounds like a similar card from Theros Beyond Death, except I think that was like for an enchantment as opposed to an artifact. Slaughter the Strong. I do like this art. It's feathery dinosaur, so I'm guessing this is from an Ixalan set. Each player chooses any number of creatures they control with total power 4 or less, then sacrifice all other creatures they control. Each player chooses any number of creatures with total power 4 or less. Oh, so this is a potential board wipe card. Save for a few little guys. Victimize. Choose 2 target creature cards in your graveyard. Sack a creature. If you do, return the chosen card to the battlefield tab. Oh, I am glad to get one more of these. I got these back in one of the Urza block sets. And I would have loved more. And there we go. More. Awesome. It's an uncommon. I would love to see more of those. Court of Ambition, 4 mana black enchantment, enters the battlefield. I am the monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 3 life, unless they discard a card. If you're the monarch, instead, each opponent loses 6 life. I like it. And here we go, our legendary creature, Glacian Powerstone Engineer. 6 mana for a 3/6. Tap him. Tap X untapped artifacts you control. Look at the top X cards of your library. Put one of those cards into your hand and the rest in your graveyard. He's got partner. Oh, there we go. Second legendary. Breach's Brazen Plunderer. 4 mana 3/3. He's got partner. He's got menace. Whenever one or more pirates you control deal damage to your opponents, exile the top card of each of those opponents' libraries. You may play those cards this turn, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color for those spells. Cool, handy. And got a little foil here. Lumen Grid Gargoyle. 6 mana for 4/4 flyer. Alright, and our token is Treasure. Alright. Need to keep better track of the pile I'm doing this from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this pile. Alright. I don't have any deck ideas just yet. And that was just our first 20 cards. Oh, here. Oh, I thought it was that prismatic thingamajig. Alright. Gift of Paradise. Definitely saw this in another set. Is this a Cory also? Enchant land, enters the battlefield, gain 3 life, and then enchanted land has tap to add 2 mana of any color. That's handy dandy. Spark Harvest. That's from War of the Spark, right? 1 black. Sack a creature or pay 4 more mana. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. It's like Bone Splitters, but more useful. Benevolent Blessing. It's an enchantment you can flash out to enchant your creature. Choose a color. It has protection from the chosen color. This effect doesn't remove auras and equipment you control that are already attached to it of the color. That's a handy enchantment. I could probably stick that into any white deck. Aqueous Form. That's definitely from a Theros set or multiple Theros sets. Enchanted creature can't be blocked. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, scry 1. That's handy. Crushing Vines, definitely seen this in at least one other set. 3 mana to destroy an artifact or a creature with flying. Goblin Trailblazer, obviously from Ixalan. 2 mana for 2/1 with menace. Sentinel Spider, 5 mana, but he's got 4/4 vigilance and reach. I love seeing green cards with vigilance and reach. Murder, always useful. Murder. Command Tower that now I have without having to buy a pre-constructed commander deck. 9th Bridge Patrol. A dwarf soldier for 2 mana. Whenever another creature you control leaves the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. Okay. And a commander sphere without having to buy a commander precon. I like it. Scab Goliath. 6 mana for a 6/9. As an additional cost to cast this spell, exile 2 creature cards from your graveyard. So a blue 6/9 with trample for 6 mana and 2 cards from my graveyard. I don't know. Amorphous Axe. This is from Modern Horizons, right? I remember seeing all these shapeshifters having this effect visually. 2 mana equipment, +3/+0, and is every creature type. Could definitely see the appeal of this. Cast down. Destroy target non-legendary creature. Wow, that is good. They don't have to be tapped. They don't have to have had damage done to them earlier. This is really good. I remember in the early days, like Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, there was a kill spell that only cost like 2 black or something that could just kill anything. It didn't have to be non-black, non-artifact. It didn't have to be tapped. It didn't have to have taken damage already. So this is a nice throwback to that. I mean, you can't kill commander, but still, that's good. Almost as good as murder. Stinger Fling Spider. 5 mana for a 2/5 with reach. Enters the battlefield, you may destroy target creature with flying. This is good. Air Domination. Arcane Signet. Add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Ooh, 2 mana for that. That's nice. Alright. Vault of Champions. This is our rare land. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you have 2 or more opponents. So, early game comes in untapped just fine. I like it. Rebek, Architect of Ascension. Is she from Sarah's realm? With the flying stuff and such? 4 mana for 3/4. Artifacts you control have protection from each converted mana cost among artifacts you control. It's got partner. Artifacts you control have protection from each converted mana cost of the artifacts I have. So 1 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana, like I could see the use out of this. I just don't like having to do all that math. All that thinking. Tuya, Bearclaw, human warrior who likes to ride bears. I already like you. So 3 mana gets a 2/2, and whenever Bearclaw attacks, get +X until end of turn, where X is the greatest power among other creatures you control. Alright, cool. I could definitely see the appeal. Didn't I have a multicolor pile here somewhere? No? No? Alright, then I guess I'll make one. Okay. Oh, look at this guy. And he's a foil. It's that card everyone is afraid of on debut, and he is a foil. I'm happy to have him, because I like my rogues. Black rogues, yes please. 3/2 flash, opposition agent, 3 mana. I mean, who isn't already aware of this card? How you take over someone else's tutoring? It's wonderful. And it's in foil. And we got an Elf Warrior token. Alright. Alright, so if we were doing a regular draft out of this box, this would be our last pack. Wild Size. 3 mana. Target creature gets +2/+2, gains trample, and I get to draw a card. Supernatural Stamina. Till end of turn, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains whenever this creature dies. Return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. Okay, cool. Inspiring Roar. 4 mana. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Oh yeah, I could definitely see a lot of use out of that. Jalum Tome. 3 mana. For 2 mana, tap, draw a card, discard a card. I think I have this from like 4th edition, where it's like a Hungry Book picture, I think. I think this is the same card I'm thinking of. Flood of Recollection. Return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Exile this card. Okay, so this is like tutoring up an instant or sorcery out of my graveyard is just fine in, what do you call that? Dredge decks? Elvish Visionary, pulled that earlier. Pulled him earlier. Court Street Denizen. Human Soldier, 3 mana, 2/2. Enters the battlefield under your control. Tap target creature an opponent controls. Perilous Mirror. Mirrors are kind of funny little robot things. Whenever it dies, it deals 2 damage to any target. Ooh. 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 This is a common? I see lots of potential for you. Gale Strike. You flapping your wings hard, Birdman. Return target tapped creature to its owner's hand and draw a card for 3 mana. Champion of the Flame. A 1/1 with trample for 2 mana. He gets +2/+2 for each aura or equipment attached to it. Okay. Angel of Dawn. 5 mana for a 3/3 flying angel. When Angel of Dawn enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain vigilance until end of turn. This would be quite useful in draft. Another Sentinel Spider. Hero's Blade. Equipped creature gets +3/+2. Whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield under you control, you may attach Hero's Blade to it. This feels like an auto-include. Oh, Confiscate. That's a reprint from Urza that I have already. Glad to see more of. Scaled Behemoth. That's a big old crocodile right there. Like, he's got teeth the size of these elves. 6 mana for a 6/7 hexproof. Okay, he'd be good. Like, finisher. They can't steal, that they can't kill. Dropping a big boy, like if only he had trample. Jeska's Will, 3 mana. Choose 1. If you control a commander as you cast a spell, you may choose both. Cool. Add red mana for each card in target opponent's hand. Exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. Cool. And our legend here is Bel Borca, Spectral Sergeant. 4 mana, star 5. Note the converted mana cost of each card as it's put into exile. Any form of exile. Then this guy's power is equal to the greatest number noted for it this turn. The greatest converted cost of whatever is exiled during this turn. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. So this is almost like giving me an extra draw, and it puts something into exile that that can become his power. But also, if something gets flickered, that will also make it his power. Our other legend here is a rare and a Sphinx. 6 mana, 5/6. Elegith Crossroad Augur. 5/6 flying. You can scry a number of cards. Draw that many cards instead. If you would scry a number of cards, draw that many cards instead. Oh, this just makes the value of scry lands so much more valuable. Bitter Revelation is my foil. 4 mana. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put 2 of them in your hand and the rest in your graveyard. Lose 2 life. And a spirit token. Alright. So This would have been a regular Commander Legends draft pool to build something out of. So I guess this would be phase 1 of this video. What would you build for phase 1? But we're doing pre-release, so we have 6 boosters to play with. So let's open the rest. So far, honestly, I think I'm leaning towards black here. And I don't have any multicolor black something yet, but I guess use that option of that colorless spirit that can be any color, and then I could put in another color, maybe green, black green, black blue. All right, phase 2, our second set of 3 boosters. Soul's Mate. 5 mana, put plus X plus 1/+1 counters on target creature, where X is that creature's power. Elvish Doomsayer. Black Elf Shaman for 2 mana. When it dies, each opponent discards a card. Another Benevolent Blessing. Scrap Diver Serpent. Where are you from? This is like Meriden with junk. Alright, 6 mana gets us a 7 mana gets us a 5/5 Serpent that can't be blocked as long as defending player controls an artifact. Skyraker Giant. Look at this guy. He's just bringing down this dragon. He's a 4/3 with reach for 4 mana. Haunted Cloak. 3 mana equipment. Creature has vigilance, trample, and haste. Wowzers. That's all nice things to have. So it's a 3 mana artifact and it only costs 1 to equip. That sounds like an auto include. Silverback Shaman. I've seen him before. Opal Palace. Tap for a generic or pay 1, tap it, add 1 mana of any color to your commander's identity. If you spend this mana to cast your commander, it enters the battlefield with a number of additional +1/+1 counters unequal to the number of times it was cast from the command zone this game. This seems like an auto include. Ghastly Demise. Destroy target non-black creature if its toughness is less than or equal to the number of cards in your graveyard. If its toughness is equal to less than or equal... Well, I suppose if I'm filling my graveyard with a lot of stuff like self-milling, this would be totally great. I don't think I got any mill cards so far. Maybe 1 mill card? Kite Sail Skirmisher. This is funny looking. 4 mana for a 3/1 flyer. When this guy attacks, another target creature attacking the same player or planeswalker gains flying until end of turn. Lets you piggyback, alright. And then Encore. That could be useful. Ancestral Blade. I'm quite familiar with this card already. Spark Tongue Dragon. 5 mana for a 3/3 flyer. Enters the battlefield, you may pay 3 more. When you do, it deals 3 damage to any target. Moss Diamond. This is classic. This is like from Mirage or Visions. Yeah, I think I have one of these in the original brown. So 2 mana to get a green rock that comes into play tapped. And I don't really see the appeal of that because you can get like an untapped green rock for 3 mana. So it's like on turn 3 you get the same 1 green mana to use. Anyway, continuing. Hunter's Insight. This is from Kamigawa. 3 mana, choose target creature you control. Whenever the creature deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker this turn, draw that many cards. So, draw cards equal to the damage my creature just did. Vow of Lightning. Enchant creature, gets +2/+2. first strike and can't attack you or a planeswalker you control. Okay. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has first strike and can't... Is this encouraging me to enchant someone else's creature? It's weird. Why would it say that? I guess this is a type of protection. Attach it to someone else's creature. They get a benefit, but they can't hurt you with it. I guess this is for politics' sake. Grafted War Gear. 3 mana. Equipped creature gets +3/+2. Equip cost is 0. Alright. And whenever it becomes unattached from a permanent, you have to sacrifice that permanent. Ooh, a mythic. Soulfire Eruption. 6/+3, that's 9 mana. It's a fiery horse. Fiery dragon. Fiery sword. Choose any number of target creatures, planeswalkers, and or players. For each of them, exile the top card of your library. Then, this thing deals damage equal to that card's converted mana cost to that permanent or player. You may play the exile cards until end of your next turn. I don't know if I'll ever get to cast a 9 mana spell. But am I reading this right? Okay. Any number of target creatures, planeswalkers, and or players. For each of them, exile the top card of my library. Okay. Then this thing deals damage equal to that card's converted mana cost. But if I'm choosing like 5 targets, I'm exiling 5 cards. Am I choosing like I exile this card for that, this card for this card for that, this card for this? Is that how that works? Or am I totaling all that up? I hate when I have to do way too much thinking just to play one spell. Lysa, Shroud of Dusk. 5 mana, 5/5 angel with flying and lifelink. Rather than pay 2 for each previous time you cast the spell from command zone, pay 2 life for that many times. Okay. I mean, this has potential, and this is my first card that's got black in it that's multicolor. So right now I'm leaning towards a black and white commander deck. Oh, here we go. More options, black and green. Here we are. Abomination of Llanowar. 3 mana star elf horror. This has vigilance and menace. Oh, it's already want to include him. Abomination of Llanowar's power and toughness are each equal to the number of elves you control plus the number of elf cards in your graveyard. Oh, I think I've pulled about 4 elves so far. So I don't know. Green black or green or black and... Hello, Demonic Lore. This is a foil. It's an awesome looking foil. Enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards. At the beginning of your end step, you lose 2 life for each card in your hand. Okay. I mean, I can see the usefulness out of this, and there is some stuff you can do. I don't know if I would play it, but it looks awesome. The foiling, like the blood on the hand, on the book. The way it catches the light, I don't know if it's catching it this way in the video. It looks fantastic. A copy token. That's cool. So, I don't know. I think I'm going to end up going white-black. So far, I'm leaning towards the white-black. Well, I still have 2 more boosters to get through. And... come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Ambush Viper. 2 mana for a 2/1 with flash and death touch. Blade Brand. 2 mana, instant. Draw. Target creature gains Death Touch until end of turn and draw a card. Cage of Hands. I am loving the aesthetics of this card. What does it do? It's an aura, 3 mana, can't attack or block. And then I can return it back to my hand so that I could play it on something else later. Yeah, I like it. Prosperous Pirates. 5 mana, 3/4. Enters the battlefield, create 2 treasure tokens. Renegade Tactics. Target creature can't block this turn, draw a card. Boarding Party. So 6/3 for 6 mana with haste and Cascade. Alright, Cascade is new to me. Cast a spell, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card that costs less. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. Put the exile cards on the bottom of your library in a random order. Alright. Get out this 6 mana 6/3, which has haste, so it can surprise attack, and then cascade something else out that costs 5 mana or less. Right? Costs less, so 5 mana or more. Alright. Oh good, more Black Elves. Leaning more and more towards Abomination of Llanowar. 5 mana gets us a 3/3. Eye Blight colored dies, create 3 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens, and then mill 3 cards. Another Perilous Mirror. Farhaven Elf. Oh, good, more elves. So I think we know where we're going. We're going to Llanowar. 3 mana for 1/1 elf druid. Enters the battlefield. You may search your library for basic land. Put it onto the battlefield tapped. Corpse Churn. Mill 3, then you may return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Alright, oh, I love this guy. I love this guy. I don't know how much cuter a robot can be, but comes into play, you gain 2 life, dies, draw a card, 2/2 for a 3 that has an entrance and an exit ability. Love, love, love this. Another Gale Strike. Soulfire. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to any target. Skilled Animator. I don't particularly like this card. I do use them in a blue deck, but not an actual fan. Noxious Dragon. Obnoxious Dragon, maybe. 6 mana for 4/4 black flying dragon. When it dies, you may destroy target creature of converted mana cost 3 or less. You are obnoxious. Ingenuity Engine. Cascade. And then 1 and tap, sack an artifact. Return target artifact you control to its owner's hand. Well, I think I found a sacrifice outlet for my Filigree and my Perilous Mirror. That's cool. I like it. Ooh, Legendary Spider. Sweet Gum Recluse. So 6 mana 0/3, but it's got flash. And Cascade. Cascade 6. And it's got reach. Enters the battlefield, put 3 counters, +1/+1 counters on for each number of target creatures that enter the battlefield this turn. Does this resolve before or after the cascade? Like, if I cast this, we cascade, I put in another creature, then this guy comes in. So she gets 3 +1/+1 counters on for herself, and if something cascades in, does she get 3 more? How does that work? Alright, we got a Jackrabbit, Quain, Itinerant Meddler. It's 2 mana for 1/3. Tap it to have each player draw a card. Then each player who drew a card this way gains 1 life. Not sure. Togo, Goblin Weaponsmith. It's a 3 mana for a 2/2 legendary Goblin Artificer. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a colorless equipment artifact creature token named Rock. I love him already. Equipped creature has tap 1 mana, tap it, sack the rock. This creature deals 2 damage to any target, and the equipment cost is 1. Our weaponsmith. I have crafted this rock. Yes, this is the best rock I've made yet. Mwahaha. Cue the lightning. This would look gorgeous in a foil. I heart goblin cards. Okay, you were so close to being a foil. So this is our foil. It does look cool for a crown, the bow, the circle. What do? Vow of Flight. Enchant creature gets +2/+2 and flying and can't attack you. Or it can't attack me or my planeswalkers. It's for 3. So I guess we got another political card. Another copy token. Alright. Last pack of our pre-release drafting pool. Number 1. So, how long has this been going so far? Yeah, our video's over 40 minutes already, so definitely going to make multiple videos here. Alright. Furted. That sounds familiar. 3 mana, 0/0. Enters the battlefield with 2. Yeah, I think I drew this thing in day before yesterday's +1 thing. Defiant Salvager. I pulled this guy out of Mystery Booster at one point. So this is going to be my sack outlet. Yes, yes. He will synergize well. Yes, yes, I want to be able to sacrifice, and you are going to be that outlet. I think we're going green-black on this, guys. Armory of Eroas. It's a 2 mana equipment. Whenever equipped creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So you're just gonna get bigger and bigger. So this is definitely from somewhere in Theros. Squad Captain. I've pulled her before out of somewhere. So 5 mana for a 2/2 with Vigilance, but she enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each other creature you control, so she could be quite big. Deranged Assistant, Human Wizard. 2 mana, and you can mill a card to add generic mana. Undying Rage. Creature gets +2/+2, can't block. Whenever this spell goes into the graveyard, return it to my hand. Oh, from the battlefield. It's not just like if it's discarded or anything or milled. Seems familiar though. Fall from Favor. So 3 mana, blue aura. Fall from Favor enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature, and you become the monarch. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step unless that player is the monarch. I mean, for 3 mana in blue, you already have a bunch of ways to tap someone out. Doesn't give you monarch, but I haven't drawn anything to make monarchy worthwhile for me yet. Sky Whaler Shot. It's a whale swimming in the clouds. 3 mana, destroy target creature of power 3 or greater, and scry 1. Okay. So this is like Reprisal, but for a smaller creature and 1 more mana, but also scry 1. Molder Beast. So 5/3 Trampler for 5 mana. Whenever an artifact is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. So the deck I'm thinking so far is gonna be green-black with artifacts that are gonna get sacked. Charcoal Diamond, another one from Visions or Mirage, and I have in the original brown Crow of the Dark Tidings. 3 mana, 2/1 flyer, enters the battlefield or dies, mill 2 cards. So this is a more expensive, that zombie lab assistant or something. Except it flies and only mills 2. But totally useful in this, like, oh, another one of this. There we go. Mana. I think all signs are pointing to our Lanham War monstrosity thing. Yes. I think this pre-release deck is gonna have to be Abomination of Llanowar. Really, I think we're leaning towards that. So sorry if you hear that maniacal laughter in the background. I'm sorry. That's just life here. That's my life. I'm sorry. Brazen Freebooter, 4 mana, 3/3, enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. Mask of Memory, 2 mana equipment. The equipped creature deals combat damage to a player. You may draw 2 cards. If you do, discard a card. Equip for 1. Vow of Duty, 3 mana. Target creature gets +2/+2, has vigilance and can attack you. So this is a whole cycle, I guess, of all the colors. I guess 3 mana from each color gets +2/+2, and something else. So I guess white is vigilance. I bet you green's gonna be like trample. Blue's flying, right? Humble Defector. This looks familiar. Draw 2 cards. Target opponent gains control of Humble Defector. Activate this ability only during your turn. So I guess this is Red's draw engine. Aura Phoenix. Flying Cascade. 6 mana, 5/3 flying with Cascade. Whenever you cast a spell with Cascade, return the Phoenix from the graveyard to your hand. Wait a tick. If I cast this bird out and it cascades into a spell, which it will. Oh, from a graveyard. Oh, this is only when he's in the graveyard. Okay. I gotcha. That took a minute. Slurk, all ingesting, legendary ooze, 6 mana. Enters the battlefield with 5 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever this guy or another creature you control dies, if it had a +1/+1 counter on it, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control that has a +1/+1 counter on it. And partner. Nadir, Agent of the Dusknell. Oh, another elf. Whenever a token you control leaves the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. When this guy leaves the battlefield, create a number of elves equal to the power. And he's got partner. So even if I don't do him as my commander, I can still do these 2 guys together. But he would come out a lot faster. And we got a foil. Looks like it's from Theros somewhere. Portent of Betrayal, 4 mana, gain control of target creature until end of turn. Okay. And so take over a creature for a turn and scry 1, cool. And a Monarch token, cool. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. Oh, there's more to being a Monarch than... I didn't know there was more to being a Monarch. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, its controller becomes the Monarch. I did not realize that's how Monarch worked. I'm glad I got that token. Alright, guys. So, let's review. I feel like we are definitely leaning towards green-black here. Because remember, we have those Barons to begin with. I'm going to count that towards the pre-release draft. So we got the Baron. We got this guy. We got this ooze. Wait, the Baron has partner? The Baron has partner. Alright, let's put all these things that I'm not interested in to the side for the moment. And let's review our legends in black and green. We do have a decent number of elves here. And of course, we have this guy. So, right? You know? Yeah, you know what I mean. Let's count out our elves, because I think elves matter. Alright, we got 3 black elves. Not to mention our abomination elf. That's 4 elves so far. 5 elves. 6 elves. 7, 8 elves. We got 8 elves to work with. We got any more legends in green? Alright. So we got, what did I say, 8 elves. 9 elves. There we go. And of course our mandatory includes moss diamond, charcoal diamond, because we need our greens and our blacks. And these guys we're going to be sacrificing. Yeah, mandatory signet included in there. Makes everyone an elf for us to count. Hell yeah. And is it fair to include this? Because this was included for the box. I don't know. Let's not include that. Alright, so these are the cards I'm potentially looking at to work with here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Alright. I'm not going to build this whole concept on camera, but I think I will. I'm leaning towards black and green. Let me get your input. Commander Legends Pre-Con Draft Deck 1. Let me know in the comments, what are you building out of this thing? Thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned because I got 1, 2, 3 more to go. Hopefully get them all out today. Let me know. I want to know, what would you build out of this? Who's going to be your commander or commanders? Remember, we're up to 60 cards with lands and commanders in it. Let me know, let me know, let me know. I'm excited. Professional.